That's, I don't know if that's speed or just the horrific like that, but that's really.
153 carries really short?
Yeah.
Good to know.
And yeah, not to be like that, but that's.
What? You did it far.
That's. As much as I want to be Brian Gay,
Okay, hold on a second. What do you mean by Brian Gay?
he's what 115 now.
Yeah, okay, good. I'm
Yeah, no, I heard that.
not old school. Oh yeah, he's ripping on it. You know the trouble is though, he's not finding the golf course.
It's I always have an issue with the Mark Brody, the short game doesn't mean anything, accuracy doesn't. There is a requisite level of both that you can get away from.
Level for that to apply to you.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I complain about paying 47% in taxes. The guy at McDonald's doesn't complain like that. It's all relative.
It's all relative.
I snuck some video on you here.
You did?
Like,
yep.
I like this. I want to make sure that as we do this, that this right hip rises.
Yep.
Opens.
Yep.
It's really nice. So, a couple things that we need to really start to look at here is, first of all, we need to start to find a way to get out of the top of your swing without it being rib cage and chest and shoulders. Right? So you engage hard with the chest and shoulders, almost maybe trying to open. So what happens is your chest is lagging at the it's lagging your arm about the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to be kind of.
Yeah.
So therefore, your arm is being lagged, and since your hands are at the end of your arm.
Yeah.
Now your club is being lagged, so you don't have any pull on the club from a hand perspective.
Yeah.
So when we start to look here, we've got like a decent looking position, but the lower body hasn't set itself up to get out of the way to propel this awesome sweater angles out of the golf shot.
Yeah.
So what happens is the upper body keeps going. Look at the pants. Not moving. Boom. We hit right there. And your upper body has gone ahead of the lower.
Yep.
So the motion that I want to go with today is going to feel as though that from the top of your swing, I want to keep this hip down longer. Okay. I want it to feel as though that in order to keep that hip down longer, I want to feel as though that these go in different directions. Right here. So the right knee, your lead knee is not sliding enough. The lead knee has to get outside the foot. Okay. Got to get that lead knee past our intersection cross. Okay. Without the trail knee chasing. Okay. So instantly we go from somewhat of a downward tilt to the hips. Level. Up. Early. And that's all as a blowback response to upper body trying to go overboard haywire right here. Okay. So we've got hip down, right knees flaring. Both knees have to go in a different orientation. Okay. And then the last piece of this puzzle is going to be the weird one. All that's happening, we need to try and get the shoulder moving away from that hip. So it's a left oblique stretch created by the left hip going down, left shoulder going up. And this is trying to get your right side out of the way.
Yep.
All right, so go to the top of a golf swing. Hold it up at the top. We're going to leave the upper body exactly where it is for this whole move.
Yep.
So knees flare. Get the knees to go farther apart. Good. That gets your right hip down more.
Yep.
Okay. And now feel as though that the right shoulder's moving up relative to the right hip. Up and away. Okay. One more time. Try to feel like it's just the motion, not a swing.
Yep.
So up to the top, hold it. Hands are going to do nothing going forward. So knee flare, hold it there. Now just tilt the shoulders up slowly. Good, hold it right there. Get back down to the knee flare. That's what I want it to feel like.
Oh, geez.
Okay, up to the top again.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So knee flare, good. That sits this guy down, and then I want that to stretch. So if that's stretching, that's crunching.
Yep.
We've got an arch in the back this way,
Yep.
and I want you to feel an arch in the back that way,
Yep.
keeping this down. Right? So we've got up to the top.
Yep.
Left hip goes down. Might feel like I have to stick my ass out to do that.
Yep.
As my left shoulder goes up. Well, that's my
Yep.
lead. I should say lead more. Okay? So when we can get knee bent, hip back, shoulder up,
Yep.
that's time for the leg to straighten.
Yep.
So most people don't get the hip to turn aggressively because they don't have that left side stretched enough. If the left side is soft, now my knee straightening doesn't affect my shoulder.
Yeah.
But if I have my left side, my lead side stretched, now in my leg straightens, my shoulder flies up.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's a lot of structural stuff right now. Hope it feels crazy,
Okay.
robotic, stretched, and you think you need to be flexible. Knee flare, good, hip down. That right hip down, 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 down. Feel like it's super low, good.
Yeah.
And now hold it there, hold the hip down.
Yeah.
Right shoulder up, hold it there. Okay, now from here, feel like you release the club as you straighten your right leg. Boom.
A lot of George Gankus going on right now.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, in order to maintain the hip tilt,
Yep.
it's a lot of right knee flare.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's totally Gankus stuff.
Well, I'm just saying all these things. That's in that.
So the guy that I learned how the pelvis moves, not how the pelvis fires, how the pelvis moves, is the same guy that taught George.
Oh, is it?
Kelvin Miyahara from this. These are some awesome articles if you want to read them.
Yeah.
So Kelvin's a phenomenal instructor from Hawaii.
Yeah.
You can look and just type in Kelvin Miyahara golf articles.
Yeah.
They'll all come up. And out of nowhere, he had a stroke, and he's been incapacitated for 6 years. So all of his information was about to go crazy, mainstream, super live, and then gone.
Yeah.
So George is picking it up. There's a guy named Lucas Wald.
Yeah.
Lucas is big on this stuff. Here in Canada, there's not really too many people that are into that. But all this is the idea of how the lead pelvis has to work.
Yeah.
Down. So once it tilts down. Then you stick it out like your Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
While you tilt the shoulders, not open the shoulders. That's the big difference. Is that I don't want the shoulders open at impact.
I have no problem getting open.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry about that.
It's the more closed they are, the more they can tilt. So hold it there. So your shoulders are kind of down third base right now.
Yep.
Tilt them down third base. Boom. That's your move.
Yeah. I'm so happy with where golf instruction has gone because I've had this problem for a long time. People would always tell me, I'll just walk through it or just do this.
Not enough.
There's something else going on because I can't do it and hit a ball.
Yeah, there's a way to keep it simple,
Yeah.
but then I think what golf has done is tried to make it simpler.
Yeah.
As Einstein said, things simple but not any simpler.
Yep.
I love my buddy Sean Clement. Simple to simple or simplest to here's a sledgehammer, just hammer in a nail.
Yeah.
And it's like, Sean, you lost it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, that's because you've spent years getting into good positions here and good positions here that it feels like hitting a nail.
Yes.
To me, it doesn't.
No, me neither. Not at all. No. Especially with a wedge.
Yeah.
To me, I almost feel like I missed the nail. Purpose.
Yeah.
The way we can feel a broken down swing is to make sure that we have the spine bent. Spine bend, from your perspective, is going to feel like spine.
Yeah,
It's like that.
Start line stuff.
So I guess it would be this way, right? So the bottom being bent toward the target keeps your hip down, and the top being bent away from the target tilts your shoulders. So your spine should feel like this. So hold it. So force the spine to tilt the shoulders. Use your spine to tilt. Tilt your hips. Use your spine down here, and then use your spine to tilt the shoulders. Right. So it should feel like it's down. And up. Right. So there you can see like the letter a reverse C. And so if I can go to the top of my swing and find a way to get my body into that C. Right. Look at the, hey, you've got your elbow beside, your elbow's tucked in, all that shit. Elbow gets tucked in because I tilt my shoulders. Yeah. And once you've got your body bent into the C, which is not, that's not a speed thing. That's not like a Kawasaki bike. That's a Mack truck thing. So you do it slow and gradual. Because at 100 yards, would you rather get hit by a bike or a Mack truck? Right? So this isn't a speed thing. The speed comes from, okay, hold it there. Okay, go back into our tilted hip down, shoulder up, hold it, look at the ball. Okay, if you can feel like you can straighten your right knee, like through the back of your leg to the point that you jump off the ground. At the same time you go at the club, you've got it. Nice, good job.
So, to me, that feels so vertical opposed to rotational. It's unbelievable.
Yes, like the rotation happens from knee changes. So when I told you that it was how the pelvis moved, not how it fired. So this is the cool thing. So the pelvis is a football. Okay, it's a football. So as I'm orienting it this way, down with my shoulder up, what makes the pelvis bone fire? Oh, it's my knees, because I have to do it right-handed for a sec. When I get into that, okay, when I straighten this leg, it pushes my hip forward. When I straighten that leg, it pushes my hip backwards. So the hip, the bone fires and spins because of leg straightening. And even I showed you this in the backswing, that the hip turn in the backswing isn't hip turn. It's knee flex changes. And a tilt to the body. I haven't turned anything, but you've seen me, you have a visual. Right. So we get our rotation from both tilts. This is your right hip going down to tilt, but there's also another one. It's the back. It's the Kim Kardashian stick my ass out. Right? So it's down and out, down and out, down and out and up. And then when those two things can happen and that guy goes, gonzo.
And that's always been the argument, is that the pelvis isn't like the other joints. It's two things on the end of it.
It gets moved because of other motions. Yeah, really good. Notice how, like, the club's kind of doing its own thing now. Right? But the ball's not.
No, that's
A combo set, huh?
well, it's a beat up old set, but
I'm trying to find these on eBay and right-handed right now. I want to rebuild.
these.
I'm also looking for the original MDs. I think they call them prototypes. Yeah, I'm looking for those too. Really getting into the whole read.
I saw some of your little. I had to look at that 430. I thought it might be a T stamp.
That's this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's from the van.
Oh, is it from the
Yeah.
band?
Yeah. All my TaylorMade stuff for a certain period of time came straight from the tour van. I have an RBZ downstairs that's illegal. My putters came from the tour van too. I had a couple spiders that are like 1 of 10s.
Back the original release of the Spider? Or the new one?
The new one.
Okay.
So there's a guy from Mississauga whose name's all over the patent for the Spider.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a TaylorMade putter rep. So any pro that used the Spider was put into it with from Sean. So like he came over and he gave me one. He talks to me about putting, and he's like, "Here's Jason when we got Jason set up. Here's Dustin when we got Dustin set up." He's showing me his videos on his phone. I'm like, "This is like I don't have enough loft." He grabs it, he bends it in his hands, and hands it back to me. He's like, "Here you go."
There you go.
Love it. Hey.
Oh, that was something. Is the low point control just better because of that? That just popping that way?
Yeah.
Because I had a really bad tendency to hit it fast.
Yeah, so now that we're moving the right side out of the way, your left side's not getting stuck, and when it gets stuck and it has nowhere to go, you've got to throw the club down. So your lag wasn't releasing on plane, and that steep on plane was resulting in hitting into the.
Yeah. Cool.
It all makes sense to start. Got a feel to this, I think, is pretty. So give me a practice swing. 80% of your speed.
Yeah.
Do it on the other side of the ball. Board hip down tilt.
Yep.
And don't forget to lead that into being Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
A bit of a glitch. Like, look at that.
Yeah.
Look at that crazy bend. Huh?
Right. I look like Phil Mickelson '94.
Yeah. But I think that there's a lot of instruction out there that tries to get you there the wrong way.
Yeah.
And we almost got you there before you hit the ball, which is really neat.
Yeah.
So. Glitched out on the part that I really wanted. However, it's just your whole body's moving out of the way as it gets taller.
I've never had, so go to club parallel again. I've never had the arm stay there because I'm at this point in this mode trying to get up and out of the.
100%.
Yeah.
What's that one? Let's keep. Have any insight on the future?
All just RT's kind of cryptic tweets about new.
So I'm off Twitter, so I don't.
I
what
stay off as much as I
successful.
can.
But where are they at? Is someone trying to buy it? Is someone trying to save it?
That's kind of what RT would be sort of. It seems like he's alluding to is somebody trying to buy it and take it over, which would be awesome.
The question is how much? Hopefully what?
Hopefully not golf.
Yeah, thank you.
The one Golf North is doing this year where they've stopped raking bunkers.
Oh, fuck, seriously?
It's it was the most brilliant way of framing it is you can rake your own and place it. It's insulting, but
Look at it this way. For the number of people that don't rake it thinking someone else will,
yeah.
kind of liking that though. So if you tried to create the tilt with the shoulders at the same time you straighten the leg, you don't get the same effect. So you have to find like the right hip to right shoulder structure has to be so stretched out and solid, like to post up, in order for the leg to straighten and move the post.
Okay.
But if it's soft, you don't get anything out of it.
No, I'm trying to do those at the same time.
This can be mapped out in a shot. As I mentioned, we can kind of get these going, and I'm going to show you a training aid you can build to help this. So all the way up to the top, trying to feel like everything under the green sweater stays the same. So we're going to go down, right? We're going to go up, and once I'm here and I feel like I'm twisted, I can feel like it's almost like a rock to my back foot and step up. And as I feel like I start rising everything, that's when I can release it. And try and time that with that. So I built this, which has been the killer for everybody this year. All right. So this thing, when a golfer releases their wrist angles, right, and the club straightens out, that thing is going to hit me in this exact same spot every time. And Dylan, who doesn't know how to do this at all, has a bruise. It's small. Going to show it's in that same spot every time. So when we can get down, up, right? Look where that ends up pointing. That's so far from my spot here. Now, when I go this way and I start to stand, the spot moves out of the way. At the same time this goes down, I never hit myself. But the worst golfer smashes himself early because the lead side hasn't moved out of the way. And that's why it's almost beneficial to most golfers to help them go, now hit. You know what I mean? So
it's like getting the hands going around the corner, you were saying, but doing it with the body.
it's a timing of this with this. And this is the cool thing, is that, like, if I hold this out here in front of me, you'll notice that my shoulders are square, right? I'm going to move that side out of the way with square shoulders. I can tilt even, but they're still square, right? I don't want to make it go, that's your open shoulders. You make your rib cage and your shoulder work together, and I want them to work separately. You need another stick?
Are those just the Home Depot ones? Or?
No, they're Humber College PGM program ones. They give them out for junior tournaments.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Totally bummed out.
I know.
It feels like what to me is the hit of the ball is so late. Because I'm used to just from the top.
Yes. Well, okay, good. Timing of it. Yeah, I like it. Late. So many people, whether they feel like they hit it early or late,
Oh, I felt like I hit it from the top.
they just don't get it. This went all the way through. So what part do you feel was out of sequence?
That was, this got here, but then it was up and tilt at the same time.
Yes. So I would say that your right side was soft when your leg stood up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So does the squat in this happen at the same time?
Yes.
For
Legs
me
get
anyways.
low,
Yeah.
while the upper body gets the right upper body gets long at the same time.
So I can feel squat and shoulder go up kind of at the same time. I was trying to do squat, shoulder up, leg up.
So I've almost taken it like with a kid. I took a piece of tape from hip to armpit, and I said the tape has to get long before you stand. Okay. Right in your head. Love.
Yeah.
Crank this up to the top.
Yeah.
And I want you to try to feel what it's like to maintain your arm structure as you try to bend your spine. The spine has to be C'd, right, before the leg straightens. So hold it there.
Yep.
Okay. So leave the arms as they are, bend this, get the C, good, and now straighten the legs hard as you. Yeah, that's the move. That's the sequence. So it's up, C, aggressive. Okay. Blast off. full exaggeration, full flow, maybe 80%. That's crazy how smooth that looked. Okay, so
Felt really good.
speed up the body, but don't speed up the club.
Okay.
Big challenge there. Okay, that again. Okay. So try not to stop. Do the whole thing all the way through.
Yeah.
Head at the ball. Okay, go down, up. Good job. One more time. Over up. Good. Good job. Good job. So the more you can feel like you can do it with your head straight, right, and get into that C crazy position, you'll notice that your eyes also stay straight.
Yeah.
But if you do it and your eyes start to tilt,
yeah,
okay, and they move, now I see straight going over the box,
yeah,
instead of straight going left of the box.
Got it.
There's this lady that's got this study that says that people swing the club in the direction of their eye line. And I'm like, holy.
Well, that.
Yeah.
One of my hardest things ever is I can, standing right here, go, perfect back swing, arms like this. The second I have to focus on the ball, everything just goes nuts.
Okay. So let's put our focus on the movement. Ball gets in the way.
Yeah.
God, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, especially for someone who's hit some shanks. That felt close. So that one, when I get it fat, that felt like this didn't happen, then it all kind of gets away. Would that be, like, I don't get this before going up?
Correct.
Okay.
So it's soft.
Yeah, it's soft, but yeah. Be able to self-diagnose.
Okay, how about let's see how far you can hit it doing this move. Speed it up. Video fast. Okay. So in terms of what we've talked about,
Yeah.
Shoulder tilt.
Yeah.
Shoulder tilt before club speed.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, good job. So what if everything until impact was only creating the bend to your spine? Would only give the club speed, call it up to follow through.
Ooh,
Yeah.
and then,
And I've been working on this theory. I'm
Yeah.
just going to call it like a swing pattern, like
Yeah.
Scott Keggs has all of his Cobra stuff, whatever, right? It's going to be a swing pattern.
Yeah.
Where like that's kind of the idea to the whole thing.
Okay.
So I want to see if we can keep the club head like away from the golf ball. Have the intention not to bring the club head back to the ball,
Okay.
but to keep the club head away from the ball. But because you're creating the C, the club will get to the ball.
Got
But
it.
your intention to return it from top of swing to impact
Yeah.
is gone.
Yeah. Whoa.
Weird.
I felt like all of this action was going on while I'm still here.
So Hogan called it a free ride in the downswing.
Yeah.
The first little bit was a free ride to the hands and arms in the downswing, and he talked about it because it was like a leg drive and a hip move that did it. But it's a huge curvature to the spine. So how far does this club normally go for you?
If I'm in my old pattern, swinging well, probably 196-ish carry.
Okay, good. Okay, so let's try and get 210.
Okay.
Through the curve of the back, through the straightening of the leg. That looks so different.
It feels different. So, those when you think you're making a huge change and you look at video and you're like, I'm not going to do anything.
This one isn't that big. Normally I blow it up onto this thing, but when I use slow motion, it comes out blurry. Boatload of angle right there.
Yeah.
And the fact that your right knee's getting out of the way is releasing it from a vertical perspective. So your hands are above your knee, but at impact, they're higher. That left hand went up. That's all a result of the long and then the straight.
Okay.
It's big. Okay, so I want to get another angle at this. Okay, set up to it.
Should be safe on that side. Real one here?
Practice swing first. Give me crank yourself up into the biggest C you can. Good. One more time.
Practice or?
Yep. Just like once you get into the C, stop. Okay. Exaggerate it, stretch it out before you fire it. Head more forward in front of the ball. Shoulder higher. Hold it. Okay, and now straighten. Yeah, okay. That's okay. You got it.
Good job. That's your move. Whoa!
you map out a practice one for me again? Okay, map another one out for me. Okay, good one. Hybrid.
That extra club length, that's feels like club wants to get in the way. I think my body has an adjustment distance from the ball. Cool.
Ooh. How'd that feel?
Chunky. As far as this goes, this mean like it come with a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, good. Good. So remember, I don't want you to feel like you're turning your hips to the target.
Yeah.
It's tilting them down and then sticking your butt out.
Yeah.
So I've talked about like the hip pelvis bone is like a bowl.
Yep.
Okay, let's pretend it's full of water. Okay. So at setup, it's tilted down, so it pours some water out.
Yeah.
All right. At the top of the swing, it pours water out onto your right foot. Think about that.
Yep.
So right hip's
Yep.
down. Okay. And as it goes through, you're trying to pour the water in front of your right foot. So that's where your hips have to go Kardashian and stick back, arch your back, right? So now it
Okay.
pours down in front of you.
Yeah.
And if you have that with the shoulder tilt,
Yeah.
the full extension on the way up's easy.
Okay.
So there's one more way we can think about this. So set it to your shot. Okay, you crank it up to the top of your swing. Okay, so if I put like a balloon right here,
Yep.
How do you pop it? No, you just pushed it.
Yeah, just pushed
Right? No, you pushed it again. So go to the top of your swing. All the way up. I'm going to guide you. So back, down. Do the hip thing. Push it back. Push it down. Hold it there. Now crunch it. Crunch it with your stomach. No, that's lifting it up.
Yeah. Oh, like a gotcha. Yep. Wish it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well done. The tilt, the squish, the
Yeah.
knees, the second tilt of your shoulders, and the jump.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's weird. It's two tilts of the hips
Yeah.
at the same time the shoulder tilts. So it's like down, out, up. And you have to find a way to go down, out, up at one time.
Yeah.
And then once that's there, that's not speedy, so you can stop. And once you've loaded yourself there, that's when we have to learn how to straighten the leg and release the club all at the same time.
To me, it's I feel like I can do of the two fields. I feel like I can do the squat,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like I can do the stretch, but it's doing squat and stretch stuff.
Yeah. No question. No question. I think that piece is going to require more time,
Yeah,
which is
okay.
going to make your swing find rhythm.
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay, one more. Let it fly. Smashed. Nice minute.
Cool.
Comfy?
Not even close,
But you understand.
I understand what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Okay.
Being able to do it's a different thing. That is such a big pattern shift.
Yeah. But you saw the results though. Like you got to a point where you
Yeah.
did it right, so you saw you know what the end of the tunnel's like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This
sure.
definitely isn't something that I need you to go and investigate at the range. We found it here. It's
Yeah.
let's go see if we can get it again.
Yeah.
Which is way better than saying, well, you kind of got it, but keep working. I hate the idea of, just put the reps in and it will show up. If it didn't show up today, it was the wrong lesson.
Yeah. Do you mind if I get one on video, or do you have a good one on video?
Mhm.
You do?
Yeah, good feeling.
Okay. Can I get a copy of that so when I go to the range I can look at it? And,
Just so we have it for sure. Let me take one on your phone.
Yeah. And which angle am I going to see it the best? It feels like down the line might not do. But
Nope, it's not. It's from this view.
This.
Yeah. It's from
Right on
behind
you.
you. Yep. Okay, so keep the hip down. All right, it needs to protrude more.
Protrude this way?
Out behind me, like ass out.
Oh, got
Yeah.
it.
Arching the lower back
Yep.
in this plane.
Got
Yeah,
it.
there you go.
So up to the top, hold it. You do really well there. Okay, so down and out with the hip, up with the shoulder, then stop. It'll feel like you're sitting into your right pocket, your right back pocket. You're sitting into it. Good. And then from here, we're going to straighten the leg as the club releases. There you go.
Yeah.
The left knee flaring out is a lot more to do with having you not transfer your weight as much. It keeps you back longer. So smooth this one, no stopping. Hip down and out with the shoulder up. Good job. It's so much cleaner. It looks like it just keeps moving, which is most important. It doesn't have a noticeable stop.
Yeah.
And then...
Well, that's the thing that always, even when I was swinging well the other way, on video from down the line, it would look like club kind of does this thing.
Yeah.
What I did. Then the hips would stop about here, and go here, and then they continue and keep going.
Totally. And that's because your upper body was unwinding so hard, and that's why we had some pulls.
Yeah.
So one more time from this angle. So crank it up to the top. So from this angle, this is where we want the hip to go down and left, right, out of the picture this way. Good. Good. One more time. Hold it at hip down, shoulder up, and hold it there. Okay, so I don't want your shoulders to open up from here. Right shoulder goes high, left shoulder goes low. Go to your finish. Hold it. Good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Okay.
You got
it. All right.
Cool.
All right.
So practice that stuff and send me some video and...
Yeah. Can I give you some money?
Sure. Cash e-transfer.
Yeah. All right.
Sure. Sounds great.
Next StarTrekGolf.com.
That's it.
Okay. Or is it a C?
Just K.
Just okay.
Perfect. Okay, thank you.
Do you think work on the really getting that the squat and tilt at the same time? Get that smooth and then resolve.
Yeah, I think you've got the right ideas. Is just trying to feel like you can do that stuff with the arms high. You'll notice a guy like Victor Hovland does it really well.
Yeah.
He gets up and he's got this weird movement.
Well, he does that weird pumpy thing to kind of.
Yeah, because he wants to feel as though that he has this in there before he fires at it. And when he stops, it's really good.
So am I gonna get his stable club face through impact that he has?
Oh, wouldn't that be good, huh? Jeez. He's phenomenal and he's so much fun. Like he had a joke the other day, I forget what it was, but he ripped into somebody really good. It might have been like Nicholson or something, right? And he shots fired.
Yeah, my favorite thing about him actually though is that you wouldn't even have to know that he's a Danish guy that went to Oklahoma State just by listening to him talk. It's like a Danish guy trying to be like he's from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, it's amazing what we do. And I did that joke down to Kentucky next thing I know, I'm like, I got a twang.
Where did this come from?
All right. Oh, chewing tobacco. All right, man. I'll see you soon.